Jonathan, wake up. We gotta do the show.
I don't want to do the show.
Wake up. You gotta do the show.
I don't like those people. I'm not doing the show. Wake up. Do the show. Ah, fine, okay? What's up, Anime Redux Rebels? This is your Judge B coming at you again. Here's what we're going to cover, and I hope you guys enjoy the show. Let's go. First off, thanks for all the support for the show, and make sure to like and subscribe to the videos too, because this is the way I know what you guys like and how I can improve it even more. Now, there are going to be a few changes in the show. Once again, as you already saw, there's going to be nice little intros happening nowadays. We got a few more of those coming up and a few of the more special guest stars that, might enjoy doing it. Yeah. Okay, so here's how the segments are going to go. First, I'm going to start with 3 to 5 posts that caught my attention over the times, and I think we should talk about it. We should have a discussion about it. Then we're going to go to the main meat of the conversation we're going to have. It's going to be about a certain issue that I think we should really talk about and see how to fix it, or just bring it to light if you don't mind. And then the last part's going to be recommendations. Things I think that people should really pay attention to, like any anime, manga, or anything like that. And every now and again, I'll add a little surprise scenario that I want you guys to try to figure out in the comments below, of course. Okay, so let's start off with the first post, which will be from this one. Bam! From Ashley. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So this was actually pretty interesting. You get to choose between powers from the Marvel and DC universe, and which include the Green Lantern ring, the Captain America shield, the Iron Man suit, the Batman utility belt, the Thor's hammer, the adamantium skeleton, and the web shooters. I do believe those are all the ones you can choose from, and they're actually pretty cool. It's just that I'm a bit of a cynic, I guess. Yeah, I think I'm a bit of a cynic, and just these powers might seem interesting, but there's a few drawbacks to them that I think we need to bring to light. Let's start off with the web shooters. They're awesome. You can shoot web that's like 10,000 strength more than steel and all of the good stuff like that. But there's a limited supply. There's not enough to go around to have too much fun with it. And you don't say anything about recharges, so that's out of the way already. Adamantium skeleton. Everybody wants this one because this just sounds so awesome, but it's really not. There's some major drawbacks to it. One, you'll weigh a lot and not sure if your body could take it. Second, you'll be able to punch harder, I guess, but that's about it. And while your bones are invulnerable, you're not. You don't have that great healing factor that makes the adamantium skeleton so great, because then you just can't die. And then you don't have the greatest thing of all, which is the claws, because it's a mutation and you don't get that. You get the skeleton full of adamantium. Have fun with that. I don't want it. Thor's hammer, only if you're worthy. No thank you. I just don't want it. It's too much drama to come with it, and I just, no. Iron Man suit, which is so awesome. Few problems. Most of the fact that the army will come and take it away, and you don't have what it takes to refuel it every single time, like the missiles and everything else that makes it so awesome. You can have the repulsor rays, which are just great. You could have the repulsor rays, which are just so great, but you can't do anything else besides that in flight, because you don't have the means to refuel all the ammo. So, limited supply once again. Batman utility belt. The greatest invention to get out of any situation ever in creation. The only problem is you can get out of the situations only once, because once again, you do not have the refill. Do you see the running theme with these powers so far? Geo-Ring follows it so hard. Greatest weapon of all of DC Universe, because it can do so much. It's only limited by your imagination, but it runs out of power, and it didn't say anything about having the battery to refill it back up. So have fun being almighty powerful for about 10 minutes, probably, depending how good you are at just saving up your reserves. So that only leaves just one more, which I have to say would be my choice. Captain America shield, hands down, because anyone can use it. Using it effectively, totally different, but anyone can use it. And if you're really good at geometry and trajectory, you could bounce that thing around all day. Just good luck catching it. But like I said, I would choose the Captain America shield. And I will say that because I'm a little bit biased. As you can see, I'm a big Cap fan. So that post is done. Let's try this one next. It's from an anime from, I don't know what it's about, but I'm automatically interested because a slip is gonna be a very epic Yo Mama joke. If it can make a Yo Mama fight look so epic the next up on this post is, next post is this one right here, and I have to say, this anime has already got my attention. I have not seen a single episode yet. Anyone who can make a Yo Mama fight look that awesome, it has me. So look out, Level E. I'm coming for you. I'm gonna see what type of anime you are, and you're gonna be in this show, and we're gonna review you because that's kind of awesome, Yo Mama fight. And then the final post is really a happy-go-lucky one. I mean, I was so happy to see this post that it almost made me. While I recover from this, let's have some rough sketch. Now that we're done with the rough sketch, let's get to the meat of the conversation that we're gonna have. I want to start off by saying that I am not a hypocrite. I'm not. I'm a major One Piece fan, and I know for sure that it's not going to end anytime soon. But the topic of this discussion will be manga that just won't freaking end. And like I said, I want to start with again, I am not a hypocrite. So the manga I'm talking about is Medaka Box, and if you haven't read it or watched the anime to it, go do it. It's actually a really, really good and interesting one. I feel that the manga went on past its prime. Now, the reason why I say gone past its prime because it just recently ended. And it's just, I don't know how to explain it. It just went on for too long. And here's how. Now, I'm gonna stop first because this part of the discussion has a lot of spoilers. If you have not read very far or watched the anime a lot, you might want to stop. Okay, here, I'll help it out. I'm gonna put this thing up right here, and when this thing goes away, that's when all the spoilers are gone. Now, I'm sorry, but that's kind of the discussion we're gonna have. There's gonna be a lot of spoilers, so sorry. So once this thing goes away, you can tune back in, mute me, fast forward, whatever. But I need to talk about this. So it follows the girl Medaka, who is pretty much abnormal. Pretty much she can do anything she wants. She's the OP character of the year. Now at first the manga was pretty good, pretty decent, I have to give it that. But it just kept going on so long and got so convoluted that it just kept losing my interest. It only pulled me back in when they introduced a fourth wall breaking character named Anshinshin, who is pretty much the god of all gods, I guess you could say. She is the reason why everything is happening because she is everything. Like I said, it's convoluted. Just try to keep up. And the thing that caught my attention about this character is that she came in and said, I'm gonna end this manga in less than 4 weeks. And I was like, whoa. First off, she just broke the fourth wall knowing that this is actually a manga. And she even stated she's gonna turn it from an action manga to a romantic comedy. You now have my attention. Because we all know we love some fourth wall breaking characters. yeah. So they invite her in, and pretty much a couple of weeks go by, and they defeat her, of course, because it's a manga, they have to defeat her. And I thought, okay, they defeated her, that's the end of this show, right? No. Oh no, it just keeps going and going. I was like, okay, maybe they won't go on too much longer, because, you know, they say it was going to end it, so maybe the editors should say, hey, you get this one last one, okay? 2 overly long, convoluted arcs later, we are now in the future, 10 years after the graduation. And when I mean convoluted, let's put it like this. When I say convoluted, they started introducing new things. There was the first normals, specials, and abnormals. Then they started introducing minuses, which was a good one. I like that one. But as soon as Anshinshin came in, they came in with not equals, which I am still confused on what their powers are. It makes no sense. And then they introduced word users. Pretty much their powers is to play on words and affect the reality. It's like, okay, let's go with that. And I think in Japan it was probably really, really good, because a lot of it was just based on how hiragana and the Japanese, you know, write their words. And to us who doesn't know anything about it, we're just confused, or at least I was confused. I don't know about you guys. And, you know, they went past that. You know, they went for Madaka getting married to one of the word users, which are all females, which makes absolutely no sense at all, but whatever. And then they introduced this character who is a superhuman superhero who defeated the godlike character I talked about earlier in One Punch, and it was just ridiculous. And the way they defeated him was just even worse. It was just so anticlimactic. I don't know, it was just ridiculous. And then, oh god, it gets even worse. Because of defeating someone else while they were defeating the superhuman superhero, the moon fell. Huh. That's right, they pulled some Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask up in here. And Madaka had to sacrifice herself to destroy the moon. I was like, okay, kill her off, the main character. And I'm thinking that's probably a good way to end a manga. Like, you sacrifice the main character to save everyone she loves, and that's the way to end it. Cool, awesome. Graduation ceremony comes up. Guess who's back? It took her 3 months to get back for certain reasons that make absolutely no sense. First, she stopped an alien war. Then she fought against the constructs of light and darkness. I kid you not, I am not making this up. Read. It's ridiculous. But I said, okay, they graduated, fine, whatever. What are we gonna do next? Well, then she becomes the leader of the school, like the chairman, the CEO, the big kahuna at 17, 16 years old. Like, it's a bit weird, but okay, sure. And she's gonna usher in this new era of greatness in the school. And I was like, okay, I love it. Let's end it right there. She's awesome. She's a chairman. She's gonna make the great things, great things, great things, great things everywhere. No. We keep going. Now we're in 10 years into the future, and we start seeing things get wrapped up in a nice little bow. And it's done pretty shittily. I'm sorry. I didn't like it. And then they even just screwed up everything for me. Apparently, all these skills and powers that everyone has was just something they had before puberty. They're like reverse X-Men. When puberty kicks in, they lose it all. So all this power, all this OP-ness that she had and everyone else had no longer exists. I mean, maybe it's a saying that, you know, when you were that young, you thought you had this type of power and, you know, you just grow up past it. But that's some bullshit. I'm sorry. I really thought that was just a bad idea. Like, all of a sudden now it's just, it never happened. We were kids. And then they have the final climactic battle against the main character and her love interest. And it's going to be their first fight they ever had at 27 years old, decide who's going to get married to who. And when I mean that, I mean, if the love interest win, she has to marry him. If she wins, he has to marry her. So no matter what happens, they're going to get married. So what's the point of fighting again? You're both going to get what you want. But I digress, it actually ended. So maybe this was kind of not needed. But it's something I really had to talk to you guys about because there's some times where a manga just goes on too long. Excluding One Piece. One Piece is awesome. By the time I'm 36, they should just now get to the One Piece. That's how long it should last. I don't want to hear any crap about One Piece. Anyone who ever says anything about One Piece will get a Gum Gum Bazooka to the face. Bazooka. So now, the final part of today's show will be the recommendation. I'm going to recommend to you guys a manga that needs to be read. It is a great manga that I think everyone should get to know. It's called One Punch Man. I would consider it a satirical comedy because it makes fun of a character who is so OP that he literally does what? Defeats everyone with one punch. Now you would think this gets kind of boring, but it's not. It's like an action comedy. And it just follows this person who can defeat anything in one punch. Think about being a hero, that you can defeat anyone one punch. Don't you think you get a little bored after a while? Just like, oh great, there's a new guy in. You get bored pretty quick. But that's not the reason why I say we should read this manga. Also, Piccolo makes an appearance in the very first chapter, so check that out too. But here's the reason why I think this manga is really great. It's the artwork. It's ran by a guy named Yusuke Murata. I, once again, could be butchering that name again. I'm so sorry. But his artwork is so amazing. He actually did the illustrations for Ice Shield 21. This guy actually draws the manga out as if it's like a couple of second anime. Like, I didn't notice it at first, but then just kept progressively getting better and better and better and better. Like, there are even GIFs out there that show how cinematic all his mangas are. There's even an entire chapter he devoted to nothing but color paint. And yes, we've all seen color panels before, but this one seemed like it was hand painted. And it even showed reflections in one of the characters' face that showed a city. He had a metal mask on, and he actually had the reflections of the city bouncing off on his face. It is amazing. I love it. The artwork is so amazing that it's just, ah! But yes, go read it. It's awesome. You should really check it out. Please, guys, Judge B is asking you guys for a favor. Just go watch it. Read it. Love it. Okay, now that I'm done rambling, I want you guys to answer something for me. This part's called Surprise Scenario. I will say right now, this is not my original idea. I am borrowing this from a friend. Surprise scenario. Dr. Manhattan has come to you and has give you all his powers for 30 minutes. What would you do, excluding keeping your powers forever or hurting or killing him? So leave a comment both in the Facebook group and in the YouTube comments. This really helps me out to know if you guys like the show or not. So, I'm Judge B signing off to you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I'll see you guys again in the next couple of weeks. See ya!